Rappi, rappi, yora pikane! It's no secret that video games are awesome. They're full of vibrant worlds, interesting characters, and just plenty of creativity that you can't find in other media. On occasion, I've heard people say stuff like, "Man, this world sucks. I wish I could live in a video game. That would be awesome." If you're one of those people, let me just stop you right there and ask you, do you really? I mean, do you honestly want to live in a video game? Because if you do, let me give you a reason to reconsider because, well, it's not as glamorous as some of you may think. The reality of it is that video games are, for the most part, pretty far removed from reality. This can lead to some pretty dangerous situations, not only for the protagonists of the game, but for the supporting characters, as well as the myriad innocent bystanders in the background. So I'm going to give you 10 examples of why you're probably better off behind the fourth wall. I've got a feeling you'll be a little more thankful for reality after watching this. Of course, the play before put rule is still in effect here, so there will be some obvious choices that won't be on here, including BioShock and Fallout. And keep in mind, these games aren't bad games. In fact, many of them are great games. But with all the crazy crap that goes on, you'll want to stay home. Alright, Sonic Spork ready? Yeah, I have one. Don't tell the Time Lords. And that means it's game time! Alright, what's on the monitor? Ah, looks like Old Time Chicago. Nice! I could go for some of that old time jazz. Chicago never looked like this! Skullgirls' art style may remind people of the Roaring Twenties, but let's be honest, people. The Prohibition era was totes safer than this crazy shit. I mean, the playable characters include a girl with a parasite for hair, an immortal cat girl who uses her own head as a weapon, a zombie, a nurse assassin, a mafioso with a living hat, and all manner of eldritch abominations and living weapons. And that's not even taking into account that all of their fights are taking place in the middle of a conflict involving the Mafia, the royal family, and the friggin' undead. And what's at the center of this conflict? A cursed artifact that can grant a woman's wish at the potential cost of turning her into a being of mass destruction. Now I know there's a joke to be made here, but for the life of me, I can't figure out what it is. With all the guns going off, explosions, zombie horrors, and fuck knows what else, this is one time where my best weapon is a fight stick from behind my TV. At least all of this madness is restricted to the city, but if someone you love gets the idea of wanting to live in a world like this, sit them down and have a talk with them. Oh, and if your girlfriend has a big wish, do her and yourself a favor and ask her to put on her Christmas list. Next! Okay, what's next? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, it's Disney World! Yeah, it's Disney World! I wanna go to Disney World! Let's go to Disney World! You, me, he, she, we all go to Disney World! Yeah, Disney World, Disney World, Disney World! Disney? What? All of a sudden the kingdom don't sound so magical, now do it! I mean, yeah, the idea of visiting your favorite Disney films may sound like a dream come true, but in reality, do you really want to deal with the nightmares that the villains of said movies may cause you? And that's just the inhabitants. Next, throw in all the heartless that are out for your heart, and all the nobodies that show up on top of that. Oh, and for good measure, throw in the hooded hoodlums known as Organization 13 who are constantly up to no good. And all of this chaos being caused by this nutjob. Hell, even your dreams aren't safe. Something can go terribly wrong inside your subconscious, possibly rendering you a vegetable if the worst were to happen. It also doesn't help that you'd be stuck in a plot more nonsensical than Donald Trump's presidential campaign. Believe me when I say that if you aren't a Keyblade wielder, you may as well cancel any travel plans you may have had. Maybe go to the actual Disney World instead. Worst that could happen is a ride malfunctioning, and the chances of that happening are actually pretty low. Moving on! Okay, so now we're in the desert. Well, I've heard a lot about the desert. They say it's so enigmatic and beautiful, and what kind of hellhole have I ended up in now? Figures! I think Marcus said it best in the intro of the first Borderlands. Pandora is a wasteland. It is dangerous, and only a fool would search for anything of value on that godforsaken hunk of rock. The landscape of the planet is harsh and unforgiving enough, what with blistering deserts, chilling tundras, caves filled with all manner of dangerous crap, and other decidedly less than ideal environments. And what, pray tell, populates these environments? Let's start with vicious skags, racks, bullymongs, threshers, and all the other hazardous beasts waiting to chew your face clean off. How about something more human, you say? Well, with all the bandits and psychos that'll shoot or maim anything that moves in their general direction, you're not much safer. Civilization, you say? Yeah, the closest thing to normal civilization you're likely to find is probably associated with one of the various firearms manufacturers who are vying for control over the vaults, which are probably the most dangerous things of all. If you're lucky, you may find someone who isn't out for your head, or may even help you for the right price. Or if you're really lucky, you may come across Sanctuary, which is probably the closest to a safe haven you could possibly find. But that's too much risk for very little reward. Besides, why would you want to live on the same planet as this prick-ass? Dio, where the hell have you been? We're getting out of here, now! Phew, that was close. Well, at least this looks like a pretty tranquil setting. Oh hey, look, there's kitties here! Well, hello, Monster Hunter, my old friend. Should have seen this coming. Yeah, you might think that the life of a hunter is really freaking glamorous. I mean, there's high adventure, a life of exploration, fighting giant fucking monsters using weapons and armor made from monster remains. Yeah, that sounds exciting as hell. But when you take a look at some of the requests your clients actually put out, you come to realize that without the hunters, everyone else would be shit out of luck. Well, the little guys like the Jaggies aren't much trouble, but it's the big guys you gotta worry about. Imagine being a traveling merchant and a Diablo sends off cutting off your trade route. Calling a situation like that bad for business would be an understatement. Or how about being a fisherman in dangerous waters like these? You'd better hope you either have hunting skills or make sure your vessel has some kind of defense mechanism. Just ask these guys, they know how it is with beasts like Lagiacrus stalking the waters. And civilians? Well, if you're a villager, you'd better prepare for the worst if word of an elder dragon reaches home. Suddenly, learning how to hunt seems less of a lifestyle choice and more of a necessity. Yeah, it's a dangerous lifestyle to be sure, but at least if you know how to fight, you have more of a chance than most people. Yeah, today's forecast calls for extreme danger with a 90% chance of screw this, I'm out of here. What the? Monitor's showing panic in the streets already? Definitely not a good... The world of Guilty Gear, ladies and spies. Yeah, in case a century-long war prior to the events of the first game weren't enough of a hint, gears can be extremely dangerous. These things were created to be the next stage of human evolution, because, you know, that can't possibly go wrong. I mean, Justice started the whole war because gears were being mass-produced as weapons of war. They caused so much destruction that the Holy Knights worked on a weapon to stop them that had to be split into 8 pieces because it was too powerful for one being to control. And if you think that Justice being destroyed would make this a better place, well, that's just a false sense of security, especially when you consider the machinations of the Post-War Administration Bureau, and more recently, the Conclave. And that's not even taking into account the backyard. Ever since the existence of this alternate dimension was revealed in Guilty Gear 2 Overture, its inhabitants have caused no end of trouble. First it was Valentine and her visuals wreaking havoc in Illyria, and then Ramlethal happened and declared war on the world, and then the Cradle happened and destroyed an entire city effortlessly, and now things are looking to become even worse. You could probably blame that man, but I've got a feeling that this crapsack world has had a lot of this coming for quite some time. Heaven or hell, let's rock right out of here. Well, this looks like a normal city. Nice, normal city. Full of nice, normal people. Okay, what's the catch? Well, there's your problem! There is no way I could let such an obvious arcade classic go unnoticed on a list like this, given my handle. I mean, I'm the quarter guy. It's kind of in my job description. Yeah, pharmaceutical companies who charge $750 a pill for life-saving medicine are reprehensible to be sure, but Scum Labs literally created monsters through their unsavory experiments. And what do you think that people who have been mutated into Godzilla-sized monstrosity would do? Oh, I had figured they'd probably gather for a nice civil game night. Hell no! They turn cities into their own rumpus room for a total orgy of destruction that doesn't stop, like ever. Welcome to the old school terror of Rampage, folks, and what a fitting name that is, where buildings become punching bags and there is no safe haven anywhere in any given metropolis. In this game, if you're a human, you're lunch. Innocent civilians are devoured by the hundreds for health power-ups, because, every kaiju needs a steady diet of human flesh and bones. The only hope for these people is the military, and a single tanker copter goes down with a single punch. Of course, life isn't exactly easy for a giant monster on a world tour of total destruction. While a single military vehicle doesn't amount to much, the damage they do from bullets, dynamite, and whatever else they throw at you is going to add up. And it's eventually going to get to the point where... Okay, I did not need to see that! Next destination before I get scarred even further. Or before I get stomped on or eaten. Okay, we're done with kaiju. What now? Oh hey, we're in Greece. I've always wanted to visit the Greek shores.
Yoo-hoo! Pocket change.
What? Hades? What are you doing in my video?
What are you doing in my video, he says. Well, I should be asking you. What are you doing in my game?
Oh...
Have fun!
The world of Greek mythology was more tame than this insanity. Well, usually. I mean, where would the people of this world be without Pity Pat bailing them out from the Underworld Army's forces? Seriously, there are monsters everywhere, and they're made from the souls of the dead. Not to mention, they're being commanded by legendary beasts and deities of evil. Of course, you'd wish it was just the Underworld Army when the forces of nature come into play with their goddamn reset bombs! It also doesn't help that they're being led by an eco-freak of a goddess who has a grudge against humans for ruining the beauty of nature. Though you do kind of have to admit she does have a point. Hashtag not all humans. That not enough chaos for you? Try an invasion by aliens bent on total destruction and consumption, forcing Palutena's army, the forces of nature, and the Underworld Army to cooperate. Still not enough? How about having your precious goddess of light possessed by an extra-dimensional parasite and going on a total rampage of her own? And to top it all off, Hades. Just Hades. Let's just say that Pit has his hands seriously full, and for the most part, he's the only one who's capable of pulling his own weight. How must the civilians feel about all this carnage?
If I had to guess, probably like you felt after playing Samurai Showdown 7.
Okay, that's enough out of you. QG out!
Killjoy.
Okay, what's on the monitor now? Well, looks like my dimensional room has gone through time. 20XX, we live in the future now, getting by a little... Okay, let's see if we can go a little further. Why do we get the feeling that it just got worse? That's why. Next! Oh dear God, no. Nope! Well, this looks a little better. A toast to my big mouth! Well, an island getaway would be a nice welcome break. Alternate timeline, here I come. Well, internet society, what could go wrong? Whoop! Come on, can I catch a break? Okay, now can I catch my breath? The point is, no matter what generation you look at, living in the Mega Man universe would suck. The constant attacks and scheming of Dr. Wily, berserk Reploids and the Maverick virus, a civil war further aggravated by a hateful tyrant, constant conflicts over biometals, air pirates and the constant threat of reinitialization, internet viruses causing physical crises in the real world, invasions by radio wave aliens who want to destroy us all? The series has problems of every shape and size. I'm honestly surprised that none of the heroes have just up and quit. The best advice I can say is, pick your fucking poison. As for me, I'm gonna do the smart thing and zap on out of this multiverse before things get even worse. Okay, I've seen enough shit to last a lifetime. I think I can handle whatever this next game can throw at me. You hear me, game? Come at me, bro. I take it back! What you are witnessing is the madness that is Final Fantasy VI. What begins with an empire going to any lengths to revive the power of magic starts out bad and just gets worse. Let's list off the sort of stuff that happens in the first part of the game. Let's see, we start with a castle being burned, an entire city being poisoned, the use of Magitech weapons to terrorize innocent people, what have you. These guys aren't taking any prisoners, especially the ascended Joker known as Kefka. And that's before the little matter of Kefka literally destroying the world, killing countless innocents and causing untold devastation. If that's not enough of a sign that everything has gone to shit, it gets even worse. Plants refuse to grow from the magical fallout, mutated beasts roam the land, mythical monsters that were long sealed away have been released from their slumber and now ravage what remains, and worst of all, Kefka has become the god of magic. Every surviving living thing lives in fear of Kefka's power, not knowing whether they'll survive to see another terrifying day or be annihilated by Kefka's light of judgment, which he unleashes whenever he damn well wants. Pissed off? He'll destroy a town. Bored? He'll destroy a village. All he cares about is destruction. Chances are the only people enjoying living under Kefka's gaudy clown boots are people just as demented as he is, or any number of Kefka's mindless cultists. And all the latter group does is shuffle around in a conga line. Sounds like the ideal life, am I right? I say hell no! I'm gonna go to the honorable mentions while the returners take care of business. Oh, and about those honorable mentions, here they are. Xenoblade Chronicles. Sure, it's nice, until Mech-On Attack. The Wonderful 101. Alien Invasion. Enough said. Sonic. Between Eggman and Eldritch Abominations, I say no. Toho. Too many bullets. The King of Fighters. When the fate of the world depends on a fighting tournament. BlazBlue. Spiritual successor to Guilty Gear. Fun to play, not fun to live in. The Legend of Zelda. How many times has Hyrule been attacked now? No, seriously, I kinda lost count. And Undertale. If you're a bad human in a monster world, you're gonna have a bad time. Here we are. The absolute worst game to live in. A game whose universe is in constant conflict, with no end in sight. Not one, not two, but no less than 6 realms which could be on the brink of Armageddon on any given day. So, what is it? Oh my elder gods, what have I gotten myself into? The universe created by Ed Boon and the gang of dystopian architects that now form NetherRealm Studios is crapsack after crapsack with no end in sight. If it's not a soul-stealing, shape-shifting sorcerer running a tournament in which mortals fight monsters for the fate of Earthrealm, it's a warlord bent on conquest and doing all manner of unspeakable things to this end. If it's not a tournament in the savage wasteland of Outworld, it's an invasion by Shao Kahn resulting in the souls of nearly every living thing being held hostage. If it's not that, it's a fallen god waging war against the heavens with the aid of a necromancer. That not enough? How about the sorcerer Shang Tsung and the necromancer Quan Chi teaming up to raise a mummified army from the dead to conquer everything? And when you think that's the worst of it, we have a long-dead Dragon King taking advantage of one man's hubris to bring about his resurrection and renew his campaign of destruction. It all leads up to a war among dozens of combatants which threatens to plunge the realms into Armageddon, and the only solution to the problem ends up backfiring. No worries, right? Lord Raiden's gonna send a message to his past self so he can make everything better, right? Well, by better, it turns out to be arguably worse. Shao Kahn still invades Earthrealm and brings it to the brink of Armageddon, people die who aren't even supposed to, Quan Chi takes control of many of the warriors who fell, Raiden defeating Shao Kahn opens the way for the rise of Shinnok, who ends up corrupting the energy of Earthrealm, and even after Raiden purifies it, he ends up overcome by the NetherRealm's corruption himself. So it's pretty safe to say that there's no end in sight to this nightmare. No sign of lasting peace. No resolution in the foreseeable future. No guarantee that the realms will survive until tomorrow. No mercy shown. No quarter given. That is what makes Mortal Kombat arguably the worst game to live in. I'm the quarter guy, and if there's one point I want to make with a list like this, it's that as bad as this world can be, there are a lot of worse alternatives. So many more terrifying scenarios that we could be going through. So there's really no point in wishing you were living in another world. Instead, think of something, even the tiniest thing you can do to make this world even a little bit better. And then do it. Thanks for watching. I had a lot of fun doing this countdown. If you enjoyed it, drop a like. If you have feedback, leave a comment. And if you want to see more, click the annotations for my playlist and click that subscribe button. I also have Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr for social media, a Twitch channel for live streaming, and if you have some extra money, you can support my channel further by donating to my Patreon. I have some sweet perks available. Thanks again, everyone. Later!